The Friday, November 3rd episode of Morning Coffee and Chat. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Fish. Good to see you guys up and about so early. Ah, what a week. What a week. I had to use the whole mine thing for the thumbnail. I'm working on a video now for Sunday on the history of coal mining here in the country, and I figured, when I seen that picture of that mine, I was like, that kind of describes life this week. In too deep to crawl out alone. So how the heck is everyone? Hopefully good. Hope you guys are doing okay this morning. It's just been one of those weeks. I wasn't even sure if I wanted to come on this morning, only because, well, been kind of depressed this week. Over the incidents at work and at home life and stuff like that. And, I'm always commenting to everybody about finding that silver lining around the darkest cloud. But, kind of funny how you can't apply that advice to yourself no matter how hard you try. Tony, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. I had to open the bar yesterday, and then my help was supposed to come in at noon and stay until we're both supposed to stay till 4. The kitchen manager was supposed to come in and put the truck away when it came in. But he called me yesterday morning and told me that, good morning, Justin. Good to see you, bud. But he called me yesterday morning and informed me he had to leave town and would be out of town probably all day. So could we stick around and put the truck away? Knowing there's, you know, stuff in that load that, especially frozen stuff, that exceeds my weight restriction. And of course, the other guy I'm working with is a whiny vagina that don't likes to do as little as possible. He would prefer to sit in the dining room and talk to women, or his buddies, than do anything. He went the first hour or 2 hours yesterday and didn't do anything in the kitchen. Spent the whole time in the dining room, either eating or talking to folks. So, and here a few weeks ago, I told you guys about the ice maker incident where the owners wanted me to, you know, get the ice maker running and stuff, but then come to find out they bought me the wrong supplies to do it. And they wound up having to call in a professional because he had me wire a 115 volt to a 220 outlet. Needless to say, um, it didn't work right after that. After they finally listened to me and got me the right stuff to wire, for a 110 or a 115, um, it didn't want to work right. So they had to call a electrical technician in to fix everything. And, of course, blamed me for it not working, even though I told them from the very beginning that it was probably going to burn up the system and void the warranty. And sure enough, that's exactly what happened. So, But him and I finally buried the hatchet yesterday, and we talked about it, and you know, got everything scratched out. I don't know who just dinged in here. This thing starts up any slower. Oh, okay. It twernt nothing. But we wound up putting the truck away yesterday, and all night long last night, I either had the medicated patches and the heating pad on, or just the heating pad, um, to make sure I could go back in and work again today. Because, and this is where the story gets real good for the week. For some reason, Halloween night, we decided we were going to go grab something real quick, little frozen pizzas or something like that to make for dinner after trick-or-treating. Because, it was 27 degrees. The daughter was freezing to death out there, since she is, about as thin as a plank of wood, and the wind passes right through her belly button, out her butthole, and she whistles. But got to the store. For some reason, the wife's debit card wouldn't work. Well, luckily I had, about $20 in ones in my pocket. It's everything I've made in tips for the last month. So I went on, I bought the frozen pizzas and stuff. And the next day, she got a hold of the bank to find out what was going on. For some reason, the mortgage company took the mortgage payment out 4 days early. Can't figure out why. Well, 3 days early. They normally take it out on the 2nd of the month. They took it out on the 31st of the month ahead. Now, understand, when you're living paycheck for paycheck, which I'm sure you guys are, some of you guys are used to at least, or all you guys at one point in time or another, you live up until that Friday's paycheck, when you can put, your check in the bank or have it automatically put in the bank. And the messed up thing is, with the casino, the official payday is Monday. But if you have money in your account, you can get your check deposited on Friday. Get it, 3 days early. So, between my $230 check, $220 check, whatever, based on whatever hours I work, which comes in today, by them taking out the mortgage payment 3 days early, they threw our bank account into a $600 plus deficit. So, any money put in there is going to cover the deficit, and it's going to cover all the late fees of everything else that comes out today. Since we have the bank account set up to automatically deduct certain bills on our paydays, so if I deposit my check today, my little $220 check is going to be gone. And not even dent the deficit that's there. When her check comes in on Monday, it's going to automatically be gone and barely dent the deficit that the mortgage fund company caused. So now we're in a conundrum. Good morning, Santee. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Black shirt wearing, cigar smoking, cigar lighting, necklace sporting, pizza making rogue. That describes me. But the shirt is actually burgundy. It's that bright Arizona sun, y'all. It's making him squint too much. So needless to say, the old Ellsworth household is in a little bit of a conundrum for the foreseeable future because, well, not only did we start off the brand new month with that $600 deficit because the mortgage company pulled, well, $630. Not only did they take that mortgage payment out 3 days early, but now I have to go somewhere and cash my check today instead of taking it to the bank and depositing it. And when her check is automatically deposited on Monday, it's going to be gone, covering, the deficit, the late fees, stuff like that. Not to mention what other bills come out today. And tomorrow and Sunday and Monday. So, yeah, for the next, well, see, the auto pay thing, there are certain things that we have to do auto pay because it's always been set up that way. It was set up that way with Grandma's account. When Grandma passed away, Steph put her and she put her and Grandma's accounts together. And it's places outside of the state that's all they do is auto pay. Her insurance company, for one, the car payment company, Carvana, State Farm, where the car insurance is through. Those are all auto pay. There's no other way to just do it. So you either have to auto pay or use your debit card through your bank account, which both of them are going to be non-usable for a while till we can figure out what we're going to do or how we're going to do it. But we have to get it figured out before the end of the month in case they take that money out or try to take that mortgage payment out at the end of the month. That's $620, $630, whatever it is. So we got to get this figured out in the next 3.5 weeks and get it ahead again, or it's just going to keep piling up. So I don't know. Good morning, Masha. Good to see you. Hope you're doing good this morning. Good morning, Ian. So that's kind of been my week. Unable to, do anything we need to do. No groceries, no gas, no utilities, no. So, okay, that's enough of my troubles. So how the hell is everybody? Yep, we are. We are going to make it through another Friday. That is for sure. No matter what happens, no matter what happens in our lives, somehow, some way, we always seem to find a way to make it through. We may not have our head, above water, but we always find a way to make it through, and that's good. Just having your second cup of coffee. I'm I'm on like number 5. But I actually slept in this morning. I didn't get up till like 2 minutes till 4. It gets pretty bad when you're used to sitting in front of this computer fresh out of bed at 12:30, 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m., 2 a.m. Gets pretty bad when you can consider 5 minutes till 4 sleeping in. Um, I don't know. Sleeping better. Going to bed earlier. Does that count? Most of the country's negative. Paycheck to paycheck. Yep. Yep. Believe me, I know. Well, and if we just don't understand. Nobody can explain to us, because we even called the mortgage company, and they can't explain why the computer took the house payment out 3 days early. Oh no, it don't come out till the second. You might want to check your computers. And of course, they look at the computers and they say, "Huh, wonder why it ran it early." Don't know, but you foobarred us, because now we can't pay anything else. Everything that's automatically deposited into that account is now gone, and it will continue to be gone until we figure out where to come up with $700 to stick in the bank to cover everything. So, and then once it's covered, she still has to go 2 weeks with no groceries, no gas to get to work, no car insurance, no car payment, and hope and pray that Carvana don't come and seize her car and everything. So yeah, it's very kind of. Last couple of days here has been 3-4 degrees Celsius. Today will be 14. Yeah, I mean we had what 27 degrees on Tuesday, and last night at 8 o'clock it hit 51 degrees, and right now we're at 41 degrees. Supposed to get up to 50, 54 today, I think. I think it's 54 today. No, we're supposed to get up to 56 today. But it's very, very windy out, so 41 degrees right now feels like 34 degrees. So, did I see your cemetery video? No, I did not. I never seen anything pop up for it. And believe me, I've been sitting here all morning long trying to catch up on videos that I've missed, you know, working like I have been. So, I don't know, we'll see. I'll see if I can find it. 33? That's a very cold Georgia morning right there, bud. 33 degrees. It was a cold week. Yeah, it definitely was a cold week, that's for sure. Of course, all of our snow's gone. Like I said, it we got almost 5 inches of snow on Halloween Day. Got down to 27 degrees, windy, um, at times almost mini blizzard type snow blowing. But it got up to 41 degrees um, Wednesday. And by Wednesday evening, pretty much all the snow was gone. Now everything's gone. It's actually not rained or anything yet this morning. So hopefully Sunday when I'm off work again, I'll be able to go out and blow these leaves and get them out to the curve edge, and hopefully it don't rain tomorrow and everything will be nice and dry. So, hey Rich, good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Hollow Mass is exactly what I was wondering. Was it Halloween or the beginning of the Christmas season? I mean, we've had flurries at night on Halloween night when I've had the daughter out, trick or treating. But in the 8 years I've lived here, we've never had accumulation on Halloween. So just barely enough flurries on the road just to see footprints in it, and that's been it. Not even enough to show up in the grass and stuff. So I mean, to have almost 5 inches uh, was really weird. Doing better than I have been. Had an episode where I blacked out at our local Walmart on October 1st. Not good. Not good at all, Rich. Hopefully the doctor was able to explain that. Good morning, Sarah. Good to see you, honey. Yeah, we got almost 5 inches on Halloween. It actually started snowing early in the morning on Halloween and snowed up until after trick or treating was over. So, but yeah, we actually got for the first time since I moved here, we actually had accumulation on Halloween. But all the meteorologists are saying that this year's going to be one of those slap you across the face kind of years. It's going to be higher than normal temperatures, higher than normal snowfall. So, I don't know. They don't know what caused it. All the tests have come back negative for anything. That's messed up. That's messed up. Hey, Rusty. Good to see you. Long time no see there, Jersey Red. Gunny, good morning, my friend. That's insane. That's absolutely insane that you blacked out while out and around, but they can't figure out why you blacked out. That's really messed up. Well, fish, that's normally how I look at it too. You could pretty much guarantee that uh, the weather people are going to be wrong somewhere along the line. But when they all come in and say the same thing, I don't know. Because normally, you'll have one that says this and one that says that and one that says this. So you could pretty much run with, one of them probably being right. But when they all say the same thing, that gets a little scary. Doing great. My aunt passed away yesterday and I'm sick. I'm sorry, Ty. That's terrible. I about blacked out last night during a church session meeting. Wow. That's yeah, definitely Santee, you're right. Get better, Ty. That's terrible, man. My condolences, family's condolences to your family. That's bad. Just standing there in the electronics department waiting for Amy to get some photos printed. Camera, next thing I knew, I was on the floor. That's some scary right there, buddy. That is scary. Did you have any whiskey before you went? Did you get drunk before you went to church, Rusty? Yes. Why, yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I was sipping my own wine, blood of my blood, etc., etc. The only thing that helps is knowing she's not suffering from pain, and she went peacefully in the hospital. Very true. Very true. I worked in the basement yesterday waiting for PSC&G to come and fix the heat. They've had a drink or two before going to school, back in high school, but never before going to church. Stale air, less than 20% oxygen, so you have breathing problems, stay out of stores. Makes sense. Makes sense. Sorry, guys. I'm sorry I'm not as talkative as I normally am. Um, I've got this whole bank thing just swirling inside my head and trying to run the gambit of possibilities on what we can do to keep afloat. I mean, it's got me so buggered up right now that I just don't I don't know what to do. So my brain is just constantly, the wheels are screaming right now trying to figure out you know how to fix this issue. DJ Smokey is Badger in the chat. I don't normally have a Badger in my chat. Don't normally have a Badger in my chat. Not familiar with Badger. I've known a couple weasels in my life, but I'm not familiar with Badger. I know a whole lot of Wolverines, but I mean, I live in Michigan, so. I'd like to be a Wolverine 24 hours, see how it would be. Well, I can't imagine what it would be like. You weren't hitting the Sacramento wine. Nope, he was hitting the Sacramento bullet before going to church, and that's probably what buggered him all up. Actually, Rusty takes his church going very seriously. So I uh, I highly doubt that he tied one on before going to church. Um, being an official in his church, he kind of takes it seriously. So I doubt that he tied one on before going to church. Can't explain why he passed out at church or almost passed out at church, but
Bye.
Have a good day.
I'll do my best.
Well, you want me to get out something for dinner?
Yeah.
Do burgers tonight or something?
Okay. Don't have buns, but all right.
I'll grab some buns and some taties.
Okay. All right.
All right. I know some Iowa weasels, maybe, or rats. Hard to tell them apart. Oh, that reminds me. The wife was driving to work yesterday, and I was in the process of uploading the video for yesterday. I had done it after work on Wednesday, and I was in the process of uploading it yesterday, and all of a sudden she messages me, and she said, "Well, I just about iced the cake this week." I'm like, iced the cake. She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "I'm driving along just like normal," and she says, all of a sudden, I I I see something out my driver's window, and I turn my head real quick and I look back. She said, in that half a second, there's an 8-point buck standing right in the middle of my lane. I said, "A what?" And then she came back and she said, "An 8-point duck." I said, "An 8-point duck?" She said, "No, buck." And I told her to go back and read the message. And that completely changed her mood. She started laughing because she was so worried about totaling her car. She said this thing was huge. She said head and shoulders above the hood of her car. So she said it would have for sure. Um, she said not to mention the fact that she's not exactly a small person. It probably would have wound up the airbag deploying probably would have wound up breaking some ribs and stuff like that. So yeah, actually forgot about the meeting. Passing out was a joke on how boring the meeting was. Gotcha. Gotcha. Rusty was making a funny. Aren't the meetings, didn't realize ducks could stand that tall. I didn't realize ducks could have points. I mean, an 8-point duck. If she would have said an 8-wing duck or something. DJ, don't know of a badger that ever comes in here. We don't normally have anyone named Badger um, that comes in here. So I don't know who you're talking about, my friend. When I was in college, I was taking an online course. One of the message boards, another student said she had a whole wheat beagle for breakfast. told her to switch to bagels. If I ever see a badger that in here, like I said, I've never seen a badger in here before, so I don't even know who you're talking about. But yeah. Only points I know on a duck is a number we shoot down. I used to get points playing duck hunt. You know, when the dog came up and no, giggled and laughed at you for missing the shot. But that's the only points I ever. But then again, I've never actually been out duck hunting, so. So I hope everybody's doing well. They're looking forward to the end of the year. Of course, we have 31, 50, 56 days left in 2023. We'll be firing up on 2024. Of course, even with everything that's going on in my personal life right now, with that mortgage deal, throwing us into a unfathomable deficit, I'm still looking at possibly helping families here in the community. For the Christmas season, the adopt a family thing, and the Toys for Tots with the Marine Corps here in the state of Michigan. So that's where a lot of the donations and stuff are going. I just wanted to start a little early this year. See if we could at least match what we done last year and help folks out that are in serious need. 2024, please be a year of miracles. 2024, please be the year for wealthy benefactors. My number 3 daughter at 3 or 4 years old figured out that you could point the gun at any white wall and score hits on Nintendo. Well, your daughter done better than me because I never figured that out. But then again, I never owned a Nintendo. I was always playing on somebody else's. My mom and dad couldn't see spending money on stuff like that. So we never had a gaming system. The only computer game I ever had, and I think I was a freshman in high school, 1983, 84. We went to a Kmart. Y'all remember Kmart, right? We went to a Kmart and found a Commodore VIC-20 that hooked up to your TV, had a little cassette drive. You stuck your games down the cassette drive, and they done the most simplest biorhythm type game, and I think we had one that was kind of like Space Invaders. I mean, we all remember how chintzy Space Invaders looked back in the 80s on the stand-up arcade games. Imagine Space Invaders 30 years before the stand-up, and that's what my VIC-20 Space Invaders. I think it was called Alien Invaders or something like that. But they would. I mean, you had your cannon at the bottom of the screen was a line that went across about yay big and had a piece that came up, and you just kind of moved it with the keys, and then you would shoot with like the up key. So, I mean, that's all it was these little teeny tiny, all the same color, just different shapes, and you'd be sitting there. So yeah, it was. Yeah, that was the Pong era. Yeah, that was another one I had on there was a Pong type game where you could move the two things up and down the sides and bounce the ball between them. But yeah, I never had Nintendo, so just like I never had shoes that were not bought at Kmart. It's the only place my mom would go. I remember back in the early or the mid '80s, the Air Jordans came out. Now I've told you guys before. I went to a pretty big farming school, so we had a bunch of rich farming kids and stuff like that. The red, white, and black high top Air Jordans came out, and like 30 kids that next day had them. They were wearing them around, and man, $110 for a pair of tennis shoes. Never heard of such a thing. And because my tennis shoes always cost 10 or 15 bucks. So what's my crazy psychotic mom do? She goes about a month later to a Kmart, finds a pair of red, black, and white high top knockoff tennis shoes, and she comes home and draws a little stick figure of Michael Jordan on the side of the tennis shoe with this great big huge circle in his hand. And those were my knockoff Air Jordans that I probably wore until 1994. Oh, let's see here. C64 was a shit. Um, Never had a Commodore 64. The Commodore or the Commodore VIC 20 was the only one I ever had. We had a Pong machine, Atari 2600, got an NES in the 8th grade. Y'all must have been rich. Y'all must have been you guys owned two horses. Had a Tandy TRS 80. It's funny you mentioned the Radio Shack Tandy computer. The job my mom had as a waitress all the way through my junior high years into my high school years. The guy that owned the restaurant, just a little teeny tiny country restaurant, right on the corner of the Madison Grant County line in Indiana and State Road 9, just not an eighth of a mile down the road from my high school. Dave that owned it, he's long gone now. Dave ran his entire business on a Radio Shack Tandy computer. This thing was this big, and it was probably that deep, and had this little teeny tiny black screen that only done green, and he ran everything off of that little teeny tiny Tandy computer. It's the funniest thing I ever seen in my entire life. You look at people today running, and understand Dave ran this business for 30 years. But you see these people now got these huge, huge desktop computers with all these programs on it to run their businesses. And they can't make it, but here was Dave running a very successful restaurant that done 250 people a day, just breakfast and lunch on a little teeny tiny Radio Shack Tandy computer. We weren't rich. My grandfather had a good paying job. He was making $20 an hour in the mid 80s. That was actually good money. That was actually very good money for the 80s. I grew up low class my whole life. That was rich. He was a line supervisor at Clark Candy Company. Very cool. Did he get to bring home the mistakes? I mean, I could have lived on effed up Clark bars. He was making $6 an hour. I was making $6 an hour. 70s and 80s was the best decades. Certainly didn't have the worries we do today. That's for sure. Raising $4 decade. Christmas cards from Pampers and such. Remember the little Christmas seals that you got in the mail every year? Those little stamps from the Easter Seal Company and stuff. You got little Christmas seals. Put them on the back of your Christmas card envelopes and stuff like that when you sent them out. Brought home candy fresh off the line all the time. I worked for free. Just that you weren't old enough to know it. I never worked for free, but to be honest with you, I remember making $3.25 an hour when I think the summer between my freshman and sophomore year, when I started detailing cars at the Ford dealership my dad worked at. I detailed customer cars for him. I would detail customer trade-ins, and then we just wash and wax and vacuum the new cars that came in for the lot. But yeah, I was making like $3.25 an hour. Just that you remember newspapers. Yeah, we actually still get a newspaper here every week. Of course, I think the lady that delivers them, Verdella, I think she was probably around, when newsprint first started. But I mean, you look at her now, and this woman's so riddled up with arthritis and everything else, but she refuses to retire. She runs 3 routes, I would say probably 5,000 newspapers a week. And there ain't no stopping her. There ain't no stopping her. I wish I could have been born in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I was born in 91. My first job was $1.25 an hour in 77. $3.35 an hour. I made about $3.35, $4 an hour. My junior and senior, or sophomore and junior year, corn to tasseling. Out there in the sun, on the front of the tractor. They had that big platform that had the buckets that hung off of it. I think there was either 4 or 5 buckets, and they drove down the corn rows, and you just detasseled them as it moved. Candy he'd bring home wouldn't even have gone through the wrapper machines. Been clear plastic bags, size of a small trash bag. It'd be full of Clark bars and Zagnuts. Zagnuts are awesome too. And I hate coconut. God, I love coconut. Had a union job, made $3.85 an hour, 10-hour shift, double every other Friday till Saturday morning. Yeah, I'm with you, Tony. I've not seen a Zagnut bar in years. For some reason, my phone just lit up, but nothing came through. It's another one of those, I guess you get what you pay for kind of things. It's the weirdest bloody phone I ever had in my life. That, that thing's got more glitches and stuff than my VIC 20 had. If cookies are made with coconut oil, I can smell that shit. Open the package, will not touch them. Now, see, I love coconut. Um, Always have. The wife's not crazy about coconut. The daughter's not crazy about coconut. I eat the shit out of some coconut. We'll get them around here. Wife can't have a lot of chocolate, so she gets them. Hey, Jay. Good to see you, bud. Good morning to you, too. It has been a while. I just listen as I head out to the country. Now be careful in the country. The wife almost hit an 8-point duck yesterday. So you be careful out there in the country. I miss Windows Phone. Yeah, mine's definitely an Android. I will not own an Apple product. Um, Number one, I don't like the apps that they have available. But yeah, all my phones are Androids. This one here is like the cheapest Galaxy that they make. I actually got it through Boost Mobile when my phone went out last year. And, I saw Galaxy and thought, hey, Galaxies have always been good phones. It's like a Galaxy A01 or something like that, $34. Yeah, definitely not a purchase. You don't want to make that purchase. So you were one of the few to actually buy one of those. Most people had no idea how good the Windows Phone mated with XP PC. Makes sense. Amy just got a Galaxy 23 Ultra. Still on my Note 20 Ultra. Yeah, see, when the wife got her phone through Xfinity here 5 years ago, that's what I wanted was the Galaxy Note, only because it was bigger. It was like a small tablet, Um, but it was still big enough, to fit in your pocket and everything. But the screen was bigger, so it was a little easier for me to hit the buttons and stuff on it and not make it. Face it, I don't have tiny thumbs, so when I'm typing, I mess everything up. I have to go back and rely on autocorrect, which is not always correct, but I mean, um, but we couldn't see spending $1,200 on on a Galaxy Note when her brand new phone was only $1,000. So I now have something two-thirds the size of her phone. But then again, her brand new phone that she bought for $1,000 didn't last her a year and a half, and then she had to go out and replace it again. So I don't know what that's saying about modern technology. I know what I want to say about it. It sucks. So, so what was it? Especially as I was doing beta testing for Microsoft, they were doing a lot of phone stuff. So I got the Note 20 Ultra. Get the Galaxy Fold that opens to a 7-inch tablet. Yeah, I know that'd be really kind of cool. That'd be really cool to have. They say it's really, really good for live streaming and doing live video and stuff too. So I buy $60, $80 Android prepay phones. My phone was $1,400. My car didn't cost that much. Glub, 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 glub. Be honest, I kind of wish that I could go back about 10 or 12 years, and it's going to sound bad. It's going to sound bad because I couldn't do half of what I do now, but the reliability. My mom, God bless her, 78 years old. My mom still has her flip phone that she got. It's a prepay, but she still, all these years later, uses her flip phone. She don't want a smartphone. This thing don't do emails. It don't receive pictures. It don't send pictures. It takes pictures, stores them in the phone, and it makes phone calls. And that's all this thing does. That's all it does. But that's what she's using now. The only phone she has ever had. My sister even went out and bought my dad a Galaxy here a couple years ago, and he carried it around for about 6 months. We tried sending him pictures. He could never find the pictures. He used it as a phone. That's it. Truck cost $2,000. Suburban was free. Dodge was $2,000. $4,000 parts and repairs. My first smartphone was bought by my boss. Motorola Razr. Razrs were good phones. I always liked them. We have an old Nokia from before phones had cameras. No one can activate it anymore because cellular system has changed so much. It's okay, but I couldn't did without the smartphone at the time. Yeah, I always liked the Razr. There was another one out. I cannot remember the name of it. It was a huge. I mean, here's mine, and it was probably that much wider and that much longer than my phone. And the thing was amazing. It did everything. When I and my ex broke up, oh God, um, 13, 13 years ago, she was still using that phone and loved it. Oh, we then went to a phone that would do two-way, so you could talk on it like a walkie-talkie from anywhere. There was service. I remember when my oldest boy got out of the service, he went out and tried to get he was with um yeah, I don't remember the name of the company, but they come out with the Boulder construction phone. This was a flip phone, but of course it done everything that our phones today did. It did the email thing, done pictures. You could video chat on it, everything. And I mean, this was supposed to be the top of the line phone. They advertised the fact that you could drop this thing from the top of a 10-story building. It would bounce off the ground, and you could pick it up, open it, and use it. They even at one point in time on a commercial showed the boulder laying in the sand and a dump truck ran over it. And, dude picked it up, flipped it open, made a call. And my son, I think my son spent $650 or something like that on his boulder. And owned it for 3 days, got out of the passenger side of a pickup truck. It fell off his belt, hit the ground, and broke into 4 pieces. I think it fell a little short. Of course, he went back and he told him, hey, this is what happened. And they said that it violated the warranty on it because it was used for non yeah, he exceeded the capabilities of the phone. I said, now wait a second. You show it being dropped on the grass from 100 feet in the air and a dump truck running over it, and it's still fine, but his drops 3 feet and shatters basically, and that exceeds the yeah. Can we say false advertisement? Leash early Nextel. I hated it. I was about to ask if it was Nextel or Boost Mobile. They're really convenient sometimes. I remember the Boost Mobile commercials with the old folks. Where are you at? No. I see. I've been with Boost for oh God, I've been with Boost for 10 years, 11 years, something like that. Even when I lived back in Tennessee 9 years ago, 10 years ago, I was the only person on top of the plateau out of 8 or 10 different families. I was the only person that had Boost Mobile and had any kind of service whatsoever. Now, when you actually got in more into Appalachia, you had to go to Radio Shack and buy one of those. They had a little booster chip that you stuck in the back of your phone, and it amplified the antenna signal by like 8%, 9%. But where I lived at, I was the only person that had any service whatsoever. People had Nextel, they had Christ, they had everything, and they could not get any service up there. I was the only one that could get service. Motorola wouldn't fix phone even though I had protector on it. I'm misspelling a lot. Commercials were back when Boost had the walkie-talkie phones. So it got me out of ham radio. Why spend all that time and money when I could more with the phone? Yeah, really. Be dressed like young street hoods, like you're in a rap video. That's good. Oh, goodness gracious. Can't wait to get to work today. Then someone bought out Nextel and that feature was gone. Boost just recently got bought out by Comcast. Verizon. That's the one I was thinking of that had the bolder phone, Verizon. But after all these years of me being with Boost, they were just bought out here a few months ago by Comcast Cable, and they have really cut back on their helpfulness. Like used to be with Boost, 24 hours before your bill was due. Well, no, let me go back even further. A week before your bill was due, they would send you a little text message or something saying, hey, the end of your cycle's coming up. Please renew for your upcoming month. Then 24 hours before your bill was due, they would send you another little text message that said, you know, your billing cycle ends at midnight tomorrow night. Please make arrangements for your upcoming month. And now they don't. Also, and this is really weird. If you pay your if you now used to be when you paid your bill with Boost, you actually got service for 31 days. Now that Comcast owns Boost, if you pay your bill on the end of the day on the 31st, your phone loses service at the beginning of the day on the 30th. So they're actually cutting about 30 hours of phone service out on 31-day month renewals. So yeah, it's weird. I may not be with Boost much longer. Always search for Verizon. Comcast bought Boost from Sprint. I think Comcast bought Sprint, period. I just do auto pay on my phones and mortgage. I tend to forget. Boost used to be Nextel's prepaid service. Yep. And see, that's what we've tried to do in the past, Tony, is do the auto pay. And for some reason, the last couple of months, we've tried to set the debit card up on auto pay on the phone, but it's not locking in. It says it does, and then the next bill comes due, and I lose phone service, and it's like, hey, didn't you set the card up to do auto renewal every month? Yep, it didn't. Phone went dead. Hey, Bud Files, good to see you. Hope you're doing good this morning. Happy Friday to you. Utility bills come 2 times a month. Makes no sense. They shouldn't. They should come 1 time a month on the billing date. I don't even want to think about utility bills. With things like they are right now, it's scaring me. I choose the dates. Good now. The narcotic pain meds are. Yeah, I know. I gotta go cram 3 or 4 $500 or $500. I gotta go cram 3 or 4 500 milligram acetaminophen in my system before I go to work. Because I got a feeling we're going to get our butts handed to us today. It was pretty busy yesterday during the lunch rush. Me neither. I pay $7.50 for light. Ours isn't that bad. Ours is usually right around. Ours are right around 200, 225. Tylenol doesn't do for most types of pain. Yeah, these are the ones that are prescribed from my doctor. They prescribe me 500 milligram acetaminophen for my back pain and my my arthritis pain and stuff like that. Of course, I use it for headaches and all kinds of stuff. For the longest time, all we could get was TracFone or US Cellular. TracFone is the one my mom uses. The TracFone, the old gray flip phone they had like 11 or 12 years ago. None of the other services work where I live. Still hard to get a signal in the state if you're on Verizon. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? No? $7.50's 2 months. I guess that's not too awful bad. $3.75. That's not too awful bad. If you're in West Virginia, the answer to the Verizon commercial was hell no. I actually had Verizon years and years and years ago. But I was the same way. It was that way in Texas. There were certain places in Texas that I went that I completely lost service for 100 miles. Oklahoma, southern part of Oklahoma, south central Oklahoma, southwestern Oklahoma. No service from Verizon at all. So, yeah, I kind of got you with the hell no thing. Because of unplanned expenses, I couldn't pay last month's bill. And that happens. That's the only bad thing, when you rely on that. And I don't want to say check to check thing, but when you have a certain amount that comes in every month, and then you've got a certain amount that comes in either weekly or biweekly, you kind of rely on it to keep things covered in case of those large emergency expenses. So when something happens and it wipes out a huge chunk, um, yeah, it kind of throws everything off level. You don't know how you're going to recover, because you have let's say you have $500 in your account, and something for you have this huge emergency, something that pops up, and they take $800 out. Well, you're now $300 in the hole, plus late or plus overdraft fees, plus late fees on anything else that comes in. So any money you put in the bank is only covering your overdraft fee, your $300 deficit, and your late fees. All those other things that come in, every time they try to run them again, it's another late fee. It's another late fee. It's another late fee. So yeah, it especially when they try to take a bill out 2 or 3 days early than they normally do, and if they would have only waited those 3 days, there would have been no issues. So yeah, it's Verizon has some dead spots, but it is improving. I heard it was. I heard it was. I don't have. I couldn't pay that. Most West Virginia is still dead zone to Verizon. Best carrier for service here. Still U.S. Cellular, followed by AT&T. Good morning, Dave. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're doing well, man. I set up my account to not pay more than is there. And see, I don't understand why the credit union don't do that. Like I said, we've never had this. We've never had this issue before. We've never had an issue like this before. It's just it's very weird. Um, but yeah, we need to check into that. We can't do this. 'Cause like I said, it could take us past Christmas to catch this all up, and only be living off of my little $200 check for a 2 week period. And that's going to be food, that's going to be gas, that's going to be um, cigars, cigarettes, everything. Yeah, sadly enough, ramen is not good for diabetics or people with heart problems because of the cholesterol and the carbohydrate count in it. You could eat an entire loaf of bread and just barely match the carbohydrates in a pack of ramen noodles. Okay, time for me to bug out. Have a good day, Judy Jan. I'll talk to you sometime. Everybody else, have a great day. All right, you too, Jay. You take care of yourself, my friend. Be safe out there, and we'll catch you. We'll catch you here real soon. We'll talk soon. Ramen and instant rice. Splurge and add a can of tuna to it. Carbs. Carbs ain't the devil if you're doing shit. See, that's exactly the opposite of what my dietitian told me and what my doctors tell me. They say I want to avoid as many carbs as possible. Try to keep my carb intake about 20 grams a day, which is one slice of bread and half the crust off of another piece of bread. They say that carbs are what drive up your sugar levels, which is why they want me eating as much peanut butter as possible because protein in the peanut butter drives the carb levels down. So my oldest says morning. Tell her I said good morning, and she better be good, or I'm gonna come and get her. I'm diabetic. I know what they say. Ramen noodles don't completely digest. It's not surprising. And the bad thing is, I love shrimp ramen noodles. Either the shrimp ramen noodles, the ones in the pink packaging, or the shrimp cup of noodles. Those are my favorites. And my dollar stores just quit carrying them. At least the ones here in town. They carry the chicken and the beef and stuff like that, but they just quit carrying my shrimp ramen. Now, I go to the dollar store, I'll buy 4 or 5 packs of ramen, the packs with 12 bags of ramen in it. And, I pay like a dollar 10 per pack. But that sets me up for 2 months. And I'm good. I never have to worry about having something around for lunch or something like that. 2 pieces of bread raise my blood sugar more than a package of ramen. Really? Wow. See, for me, it's completely different. Ramen will really raise my blood pressure or raise my blood sugar. Bread does too, though. So that's why I try to avoid the carbs as much as possible. But dang it, sometimes ramen just sounds good, especially when I got some queso cheese or something. I'll get the ramen all cooked up, and I'll put the seasoning pack in. Then I'll put a spoon or two of some queso cheese in it, and I'll stir it in there real good. Then I'll put the lid on the container and wrap a towel or something around it. That way the heat stays in there. Um, a lot of people don't realize you get the water nice and hot, and you mix in all your stuff and you cover it up. Inside of 15 or 20 minutes, the ramen will almost double in size. I've actually had it pop the lid off my Tupperware containers before. By doing something, I mean actually work. It's burning sugars off. Yeah, exactly. The Oriental now PC named soy are really good with tuna added. Never had that one. Never had that one. I don't think any place around here carries it. I worked at Walmart years back. There was a label under the big pack of plastic. It said, can cause cancer, not to eat a pregnant. Had a warning label. The Surgeon General has determined that eating ramen noodles could be dangerous to your health. Smoking 9 packs of cigarettes a day could be healthier for you than eating ramen noodles. kind of tough to find anything that will not cause cancer. You're absolutely right about that, sir. You're absolutely right about that. I remember, I remember growing up, we used to drink that red punch all the time. You'd come in the gallon plastic milk jug. Mom used to buy that for us kids all the time, and we drank it for years. Sometimes she'd buy the blue, sometimes she'd buy the purple, sometimes she'd buy the green, but mostly she bought the red. Um, because it was the most like Hawaiian punch or high C or something like that. And then what was it? 12, 13 years ago, they came out with red dye number 5 or something like that. Red dye number 7 had cancer causing carcinogens in it. So they were changing the recipe up, and it's like, wow, our mom has been feeding us cancer causing carcinogens for the last 25 years. Yay. Probably determined by, yeah, at this point, I don't think it's the stuff that puts in the label um, on Betsy itself that causes cancer. She smiled super big when you said good morning. She's been watching for a few minutes. She also said, no, 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 you can't steal her. Gotta love kids. You do, especially when they're good. Wait, what? Who is his? Sorry, it's the wife. Yo. Hey. Mm. Ah, okay. Okay. Yeah, remind me tonight to send you those pictures of my ID so you can scan them. Or, well, I can do it when I'm done here before I leave for work. Nope. Yeah, I still use the living history comes alive at gmail.com. All right, honey. Okay. Ah, okay. Okay. 12. Okay. Burgers. Oh, you can do soup. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Okay. Okay,
Let me know.
I will.
Alright. I mean, actually, you don't even have to go get them. You don't gotta walk an extra somewhere. Chili out. Because it's quick to make, so you don't have to get it. I can do it.
Okay.
Alright. Well, have a good day at work. Of course, I'll talk to you on my first break, but
Yeah.
I'll get ready. So, I'm taking it along.
Oh, okay.
Alright, love you.
Love you too. Bye. Trying to figure out what we can get with the money in our pocket to feed the family for the next few days. I love it. Love it. Um, that Gatorade can slow children's learning development. You know, I haven't drank Pepsi for a month now. But I had some at a restaurant when getting the dog fixed. I didn't like it at all. Yeah, we just recently switched from Coke to Pepsi at the bar, so I don't feel too awful bad because we didn't ever have Diet Coke. Diet Coke, our Coke for some reason never delivered Diet, but now we have Diet Pepsi, and yeah, I tried drinking the water. The water just doesn't taste like anything, like wet air. There's nothing to it. So, and then we have energy drinks and like that. But I mostly I'll put pour 1 cup of Diet Pepsi at the beginning of a shift and sit there and sip on it the time I'm there. Um, Never liked Coke. I drink Pepsi, Coke, or RC. When I'm lucky enough to find Diet RC, that's what I prefer to drink. Maybe from how many times I've Jack and Coke as a teen. I've seen videos where people say Pepsi and Pepsi products have a copy sweetener from aborted fetuses, all kinds of crap out there. Oh yeah, definitely so. Think of it, I cannot stand Jack either. It reminds me of licking a Kingsford briquette. Yeah, I never was a Jack drinker myself. Only in extreme circumstances, like when I'm at somebody else's house and that's all they have. Um, will you even see me drink anything but Bullet? And Bullet Rye, perfect. I used to prefer Southern Comfort over Jack when I used to drink. Back in the day, the kids thought Jack was it. Jack, Jim, Johnny, Jose, all my friends. A nice single malt scotch was good too. I discovered Doors Light. my One of my exes years and years back that was going to medical school to become a nurse. Her big thing was Mountain Dew and Jim Beam. You want to talk about a drink that'll slap you around and call you nasty names. That was Mountain Dew and Jim Beam. I tried that once or twice and uh uh-uh, uh. Energy drinks like NOS, Monster, Red Bull can cause heart attacks, especially in young people. I do know the help close your pores, preventing you from sweating. The only energy drink that I will drink anymore is Ghost. But Ghost is actually a health company. Um, Ghost has got all the creatines. It has the branched chain amino acids. It has different vitamins and minerals in it, um, to boost your metabolism, to boost your mental capability. But like I said, Ghost is not an energy drink company. Ghost is actually a health company. They make the protein powders, creatine powders, stuff like that. So it's probably why they didn't want to be associated or didn't want me as a sponsor when I uh, actually got a hold of them. Um, because, uh, yeah, I told them, I see, you very rarely ever see me at a paranormal investigation when I don't have a Ghost energy drink. Usually it's Swedish fish flavored or Bubblicious and or Sour Patch Kids or orange creamsicle or something like that. Apparently they don't want to be associated with paranormal investigators. It tastes like shit to me. I think the biggest ass kicker I ran across was Everclear Punch. 50-50 mix of Everclear and wine. So I had to tell you a joke about boxing, but I forgot the punchline. Ah! Hennessy and Sprite is all right. My mom drinks Red Bull. Monster calls a friend of mine seizures now because he was drinking them by the case like water. Well, yeah, any energy drink is going to mess you up if that's all you drink, and you drink multiple ones a day. A ghost when hunting ghosts. Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. You know, I didn't know you were a health a health company. I just figured it was a really cool name somebody came up with, and yeah, apparently um, because they I had emailed them about sponsorship, and they sent me an email back asking them to tell them about myself and my channel and stuff like that, and yeah, I never heard back from them. So apparently, drinking a ghost while hunting ghosts was not impressive enough to them. Maybe if I was 300 pounds and had a 55-inch chest and 17-inch biceps, and I was standing on a beach somewhere pumping iron with a ghost, then maybe they would have wanted something to do with me. But I don't need to hunt ghosts. I'll just kick them in their sheet hole. I drink coffee all day, but not slamming it. I still drink 750 milliliter, 25.3 ounces of water. Dead soldier. Dig in the old pocket here, find a replacement. I drink mostly tea during the day and then water overnight. The pink lemonade flavor packets. Of course, you need to have a little bit of flavor in the stuff. Now, I'll go to like the dollar store and buy the flavored waters, coconut flavored, peach, blood orange, lemonade, stuff like that. Once again, either 1 or 2 grams of carbs per a bottle. Some of them are zero carb, but that's what I drink when I'm here at home, all evening long. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do get a free drink at work after after I get done working. So I'll clock out. I'll have my rocks glass full of Baileys. Then I'll come home, and if I have any Baileys or Emmett's Irish Cream or anything here, I'll have me a drink or two with the wife. But when we eat dinner and settle in for the night to watch TV and everything, I drink flavored water. Um, and that's it. I mean, that's all I ever. I got to head out, yeah. I got to get things done, pay bills. Hope y'all have a good day. You too, bud. Take care of yourself. Have a good day, and we'll catch you later. We're over half water. Good idea to drink water. You would think so. My kids like the vitamin water. I've tried it. It's not bad. There's another called Body Armor or something similar. The strawberry banana version of that is good. I think I've had a sip of the strawberry banana Body Armor, and I think I've had a sip or two of the fruit punch, and they aren't too awful bad. Not exactly, my cup of tea, but hey, Danny, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. I just looked up energy drinks: jittery, irregular heartbeat, not enough water in your body, raising your blood pressure. Been sick all week. I was wondering, haven't heard from you. Had that real short talk the other night about those those bungholes at Ghost Labs coming out with the actual. And get this, guys, Danny and I last year were talking about a way to take the Ghostbuster PKE meter. You know, the little box you hold, and it's got the two little wings that come out on it with the flashing lights and everything. We were talking about a way of making one of those an actual EM meter to detect electromagnetic energy in an environment, we use for our investigations. And be damned if Mattel Ghost Labs did not just come out with a PKE meter that actually has an EM field detector built into it. So you can take this thing on this Ghostbuster tool and take it on your investigations with you and use it as an electromagnetic field detector. Crazy, crazy. We could have been millionaires if we would have developed one before them. Go figure. Tour tonight, Comic-Con this weekend. Probably make one using a multimeter. Very possible. Yep, we were. They beat us to it. Yep, go figure. So goes that early retirement thing right out the damn window. You doing Henderson Castle tonight, Danny? You said you had a tour. I didn't know of any place you done besides Henderson. Wish I could do Comic-Con with you. I bet that's going to be interesting. The wife and I have been discussing an actual proton pack, but with everything that's happened this week with the the bank account and the mortgage company pulling 600 some odd dollars out 2 days early and stuff like that. We're still going to be recovering from this at Christmas time, so it looks like I might have to wait later for my proton pack. So, because I wanted to, get the uniform set up. Oh, forgot to tell you, I got the night vision goggles actually working. I wore them. I wore them at the bar on the 27th for our Halloween competition. They were working really good in there. Both the night vision and the regular vision was working very good on it. So, yeah. As an avid cyclist, 25 miles a day minimum, I learned a lot about water versus electrolyte fluids like Gatorade. Oh, I bet. Henderson tonight. Hey, James, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Thank you very much for the thumbs up, bud. Grand Rapids Comic-Con. Ecto is on display. I bet it looks good, too. My son broke the proton pack he customized. He dropped it, broke part of it off. He was gutted. Oh, I bet. Danny gave me one of the smaller proton packs this past summer, and I was trying to fix the lights in it and stuff, so the power sensor actually moved up and down instead of just being a flashing light. And I wanted to make the red lights back in the back actually spin, but I just wired it back up to work as normal, because the wife was talking about actually getting me a real one. She finally realized that sometimes my toys that I want serve a higher purpose, and I want to get more involved with Danny and the Great Lakes Ghostbuster Coalition, the Kalamazoo Ghostbusters, for some of the parades and Comic-Cons and things that they do. And I couldn't see going out with a proton pack that was only 1/3 the size of a real one. So, she was kind of starting to tilt towards getting me that one from Celebration Halloween. But now, yeah, that's going to be a ways off. At the end of the ride, that would seem pretty sweet. It'd be putridly sweet at the point. Put about an inch of stuff in my bottle, fill it with water. I never noticed the sweetness of Gatorade before. Yeah, the Spirit Halloween life-size packs, like $250, $275, something like that. We were actually doing well, but and you missed the beginning of the live stream. For some reason, and even the mortgage company can't explain this, for some reason they took out the house payment 3 days early. 3 days before the money was there, because they normally take it out on the 2nd of the month, and they took it out on the 31st. So that threw the entire bank account over $600 in the hole. So all the bills that are normally coming out on payday and after payday for the 3 or 4 days after payday are all going to keep going out. So that $600 deficit could very quickly become $1,000 deficit, plus late fees, plus processing fees, plus whatever those other frickin' fees are that they charge you. So yeah, we've pretty much figured that we're going to have to live on my $200 check for 2-week periods, while her money keeps going in there feeding all the late fees and the overdraft fees and everything. So we called the mortgage company, and they can't even explain why the computer did it. That's the funny thing. They said it just randomly did it, and they have never seen that happen before. I said, well, can you put it back in the account till Friday? And they said, no, once it's taken out, no, we can't put it back. It's like, all right, that's cool. Whatever. About a week later, he stepped on his ghost trap when the cat tripped him and broke it. Oh God. Yeah, the HasLab just came out with the new PKE meter and the brand new ghost trap. Both of them were scanned off of film used pieces, so they're accurate in size and everything. And we'll be waiting on those too. You could try to contact your bank for a very short-term loan. We bank through a credit union here in town. The family's always used the credit union here. And even though we're both working, we tried to do the short-term loan thing before, and without a cosigner, she did that with when she bought her car, and she had to get a cosigner on, even though she's got amazingly wonderful credit. I do too. Both of us have credit scores over 750. But they are very, very strict on loans and stuff through there. And they very seldom ever grant a loan to people under $850, $900 credit score. So the car alone constantly costs money. Yeah, see, that's the biggest fear. She was going to get her headlight went out on Monday, so she was going to get it today. But now with the bank account being in the negative, she has to wait till Monday before her check's deposited, and it's all going to be gone, paying all the fees and the overdrafts and stuff like that. I can go down to the gas station right down the road that my boss also owns and cash my check this afternoon. So that's not an issue. We can scrimp and scrape on gas and food and stuff like that. So time to consider a bank change. But that's just it. It's not the bank. You know, we've had no issues until, I just noticed, and I'm sorry to kick the subject real quick. I don't know if I can switch this around where you can see it or not. Hold on, I want to see this. Maybe it'll work. Okay. Now I want you to look. Right here. For some reason, YouTube, instead of having analytics and edit video, it says anal edit video. Both of their buttons to do different things are combined for some reason. So apparently you can adjust your anal, or you can edit your video. For some reason today. Yeah, exactly. That's it, Rich. That's exactly it. I can get a loan from my bank with a phone call. That's how my mom and dad are. That's how my mom and dad are. When they retired and moved to Tennessee, they hadn't sold their house in Indiana yet. they called the bank and got a $70,000 loan to buy one house. Well, when they decided all that acreage was too much for dad to take care of, they bought this second house and once again called the bank and said, we want to buy this second house. We're going to rent to own the original house to somebody who works at the prison nearby. So my mom and dad actually had two $70,000 loans out with just a phone call. Well, when you get a chance to get in here, we can sign the paperwork. Never taken a loan, so they admit to screwing you. Yeah. When we called the mortgage company, they admitted that the computer messed up, that it took the payment out early, but they can't explain why. YouTube finally admitted they're screwing you up their policies. Yeah, that whole conversation with the wife earlier, we're trying to figure out how to get my confirmation of identity stuff sent to YouTube so I can get the channel monetized. So I don't know if anybody's realized, but right next to where it says anal edit video, there's a gray circle with a $sign in it and a little X up in the right hand corner of that circle. That means the channel's not monetized. So, we're trying to figure out how to have her scan this stuff and then go to the library and email, since you can only send this information via computer. You can't send it on via phone. So that's what we're working on right now. That way we have that backup income coming in. When I was property hunting, the bank said to call them and tell them how much, when I knew, paid cash, things how we had cash. Are you on disability? No. Tony's on disability. I never got mine. But since I'm 65% blind now, maybe that'll change. Who knows? Our mortgage and car loan are both with our credit union. Now my bank ain't all perfect in a sense, but the cabin building would have cost me $1,500 more in interest through my bank. Now, I can go on and kick that off because I'll be getting ready for work as soon as we're done here. VA disability. Paying through the builder. There's no interest. There's $225 extra payment. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. But hey guys, it's just about that time. Like I said, be looking on Sunday. There'll be a video coming out on the history of mining and health and safety with mining over the years. One thing they did diagnose me with going back, first joined, is insomnia, finally. I'm out, gonna lay down, rest more, just hit some chicken soup and herbal tea. Much love to you too, Danny. You take care of yourself, bud. Get in touch with me when you get to feeling better, so we can do something together. I've missed hanging out with you, bud. But yep, it is that time. It is time for me to be like a fat baby and head out. Time for me to be like a tree and leave. Time for me to be like a turkey and get my gobbler out of here. Um, yeah, I'll come up with some new material. I'm sorry. Sony diagnosis. Get my VA rating increased. Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so. But you guys all take care. Have a good day. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. God bless you. God love you. We do. We'll catch you on Monday morning. Y'all have a good weekend.